Hey good people, back again with an interesting acoustic guitar. I apologize for the backdrops of my video, but this channel is all about honesty, and this is just an honest guitar repairman's workshop. I'm not doing backdrops of Bahamas or anything behind me. A lot of us work in these types of spaces, and I'm not going to varnish that. So that's responding to a comment I got on one of my videos. But anyway, this is a guitar that company that we're all very familiar with, Washburn. And you'll remember, those of you who have been with me a while will remember that I did a video not too long ago saying something like, I've never had a bad Washburn guitar. And after this latest installment of the journey, I can say that it's still true. This is a very good guitar. So what is this? This is I'm deliberately giving you the light on the top because it's striped ebony finish, which you see a lot in ukuleles. I've had ukuleles with this finish, not so many guitars. This is what they're calling I think it's the forest ebony, forest green or something like that. I'll put it in the title and everything. And these are, 250, 300 pound guitars, probably similar in dollars. However, I got this one for a really good deal. Decided to pick it up and have a look at it. So let's hear it a little bit. So a very competent, nice, rounded sound, not too deep because of the hardwood, but also not too nasally. Has more of a depth in tone than you would think from this particular timber. It's got what appears to be a rosewood board and bridge, a simple white rosette sort of offsetting the dark chocolatey wood with a white binding. The back is more of a plain black color. I think it is the same wood, it's just not as streaky. Actually, I think this is actually painted black. Sides are as well, so it's just the top that has this particular finish. The same sort of competent or bog standard keys that you get. Traditional quality, George Washburn stamp on the back of the headstock. I'll show you that. You can see that. Not all guitars have that stamp, so. And it is a DFED/U model number, and I think DF stands for deep forest, and ED is probably dreadnought. This is the dreadnought shape. They do this finish, I think, in a concert size and also in both sizes electric. So if you go looking for it, you'll find, I think, 4 different versions of this particular guitar. It's very pleasing on the eye. I like this sort of dark finish. Sometimes you get guitars with this kind of hardwood though, and they're very, very trebly, very nasally. This one's got a reasonable tone, so I suspect the back and sides are probably a more traditional wood, like a mahogany or something, and then the top is veneered with this particular finish. So yeah, and there's not really a whole lot more to say about this. What condition did I get it in? I got it new out of the box. And the only disappointments I have are that, number one, it was shipped in a standard shaped box without really any padding or anything. So they took a risk in shipping it to me. I would like to see an oblong box for a guitar of this quality, and maybe the shaped box inside the oblong box, something like that. It just seems that you're going to get a lot of returns and a lot of damage with having it so flimsily packed. And the other thing, which is a standard criticism on my channel, is there is absolutely no reason in this day and age why a guitar manufacturer can't include at least just a basic gig bag with the guitar. Now, I've said this on videos, and I've got nasty comments below the videos saying, what do you want? You know, a free case? Well, yeah, I do. I've been in the business long enough to know that you can arrange a deal with a standard sort of nylon soft case maker, to where you could furnish each guitar that you make and have a case built for it. Maybe not top of the line deluxe Cordura or anything, but just a decent gig bag, because in shipping that guitar you reduce your chance of damage and even exposure to weather by a large percent if you pack it and ship it in a gig bag. A lot of companies are doing this. A lot of companies selling cheap guitars are doing this. So a company like Washburn should be able to do it as well. So that was my biggest disappointment, is that it didn't come with any sort of packing material. It was very flimsily packed without a gig bag. If it were to take a shot in the side, or if it were dropped, the risk of damage is pretty high. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't risk that if I were a company of Washburn's standing. So that's my main criticism. How's it come set up? Well, as you can hear, this plays right out of the box. The action is just where it needs to be. The only thing I think I'll have to do to this is there are some sharp fret ends down here. Now, a lot of people use this as a criticism of a guitar, and then telling you not to buy it because of this. I don't do that, because I've worked in guitar factories, I've worked in guitar distribution, and I know that these guitars often are stockpiled in warehouses in one part of the world, then shipped to another, and just pure nature and the change in temperature and conditions is going to make the wood expand or shrink, and metal does not. So if you get slight sharp fret ends, it doesn't mean it's automatically a bad guitar. I've had to do fret dress on Martins, Taylors, Blue Ridges, Breedloves, you name it. It's just one of those things. Wood shrinks, metal does not. So you could say that they should do a setup when it arrives on these shores. Well, if you buy it from a guitar shop, yes, they should. They mark the guitar up, they should set it up for you. But if you're buying it from an online vendor, and you're getting it cheap, a good percentage cheaper than everywhere else, like this particular one, I don't mind having to do a little bit of fret dress myself. I'd rather get the good deal on it and do that work myself than have it all coming absolutely perfect and paying 3 times the price. But I'm a repairman, so I have the privilege of being able to make that choice. You might not have any inclinations to do any repair work for one reason or another, so you might prefer that the guitar comes perfect, and that you'd be willing to pay the extra to have it come so. So we're all different in that regard, but a lot of people watch this channel are fiddlers. You like fiddling with guitars, and you're prepared to do this kind of work, and getting a 3-cornered file and knocking off the sharp ends of frets is not a big deal to you. And if it means you can get a deal like me, then you're willing to do that. So just a tiny bit of setup on this. The neck is dead straight. It doesn't really need any adjustment whatsoever. The action's perfect. The strings are pretty decent as well. I suspect they're D'Addario phosphor bronze or something equivalent. It looks like the saddle has been dressed down to the correct height. The nut slots are pretty well cut. So the only thing is this fret issue right here, and I suspect that's just because the guitar has undergone some weather changes in its journey, and the wood has shrunk a slight bit. It's very slight. It just needs maybe a few minutes of fretwork, and then it'll be good. So here you have the Deep Forest Ebony guitar from Dreadnought flavor from Washburn, good old Washburn. Been around for a century now. A good reliable guitar company. And this is one of their student model guitars, probably slightly better than entry level, because Washburn does have a couple of student ranges as well. Oscar Smith, which has become a student range with guitars, and then the Lyon, Lyon company. I think we've had one of those on this channel. And then the actual Washburn guitars are a slight step up, so you could probably say they're beginning to intermediate. And I think this one probably is 2 or 3 up the chain because of this exotic wood finish. But there you go. Another Washburn guitar. Haven't had a bad one yet. All right, folks. See you on the next one.